originally worked as a mortgage broker and was one of the first people within her industry to actually fully utilise social media by the use of Facebook. She originally used this around 16 years ago, and it was really successful for her, where she was able to gain lots of new clients through, at that time, the booming buy-to-let market. In 2010, following that last hard-hitting recession, she decided to utilise those skills that she'd gained by sharing her knowledge of social media with other property-related professionals. This was the turning point for her in her life when she, at that same time, decided to leave her secure job as a mortgage broker and to go full-heartedly and into her new chosen career and start her own business, Zoe Media. She originally started this company from her spare room, and due to her complete passion and belief, went on to create a fantastic global company. Zoe has grown at Zoe Media into a fantastic, successful business and is known as a leading international expert on all things to do with social media. She has spoken in over 14 countries, appears regularly on BBC and ITV and many other media stations, and is also a consultant to many household brands on all things to do with social media. So welcome, Zoe, to our sofa.
I love it. Love that we can catch up, and it's always good to recap on what's happening in the property market.
Absolutely, and what our viewers won't know is that we've spent the last 2 hours catching up. So it's lovely to have you here today, and it's a real pleasure to be able to actually spend some time and talk about you.
Thank you for asking me.
Oh, you're welcome. But I've got a few questions.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sure people are dying to know all about you. So first of all, tell me a little bit about you and how you always remain so motivated.
Oh, well, motivation's a good one. I think you've always got to have that vision. So the reason why I've always stayed so motivated is knowing exactly what I want to achieve and why I want to achieve it. Because sometimes if you just know what you want to achieve, it doesn't actually then give you that motivation. Whereas if you've got your why, so for example, mine originally was my dad. So knowing that he's always been a builder from like a really young age of what I've known him to do, and for me it was like making sure that if he needed support, I could support him in whatever he does. And also my mum as well, because she's just fantastic at what she does. So my why was really important, and now I've got my own family unit. I've got my amazing Huskies and Gareth. We love to travel, and we always wanted a company that wasn't high maintenance in terms of big teams and working 24/7. We wanted something that was great for it was more of a lifestyle business, that we could still go and travel, we still had a comfortable lifestyle, and I think the motivation is knowing where I was going and why I was doing it, and that's what's kept me really motivated.
And keeping that focus, and that
focus,
certainly works for you.
Yeah.
So what was it about social media that attracted you to it all those years ago? Why social media?
I think before I got my role at Henderson Ponsford in Gravesend, I come out of university, and I always say I wanted to be an ugly Betty in the city, doing programming and having a job where I was sort of like building websites, or maybe doing software building and stuff like that. And that back then it wasn't just the boom of the buy-to-let market, it was the boom of websites.com.
It was,
all of the website building, and trying to get a job in the city where everyone had a first class degree. I wasn't, I had fun at university, I didn't really get the first class that I really wanted to. So I was competing against these people, and I thought, you know what, my mum said to me, you've just been through university, go and earn some money and then think about what you want to do later on. So I went out looking for different jobs, and that's when I then landed the role at Henderson Ponsford, and it was a great opportunity. I learned so much from it. But when I was there, and obviously things started to get a little bit challenging in terms of the recession started to hit. I think it was 2008. My friend told me about Facebook, and she said, have you checked out Facebook? I said, no. And I went on there, and all I saw was people in fancy dress outfits or falling into the gutter on their nights out. And I thought, how am I going to use this for business? Yeah. But when I looked at who my target audience were, who were property investors, I put in the search bar property investors, and all these groups of property investors appeared, and I thought, wow. I started to join the groups, started to have conversations, and from there, that's how I started to get business from it. It was brilliant, and that's where it all stemmed off from.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, it's sort of a small thought and to what you've done today, which is absolutely brilliant. So, what challenges do you decide to go for? You know, when you set up the business, how did you actually manage to overcome anything that was like a big challenge for you, or have you had any big challenges that you've had to overcome?
Challenge is always a good one, because when you're on your own and you set up a business on your own, it gets a little bit lonely, and I think lots of people will say the same. When you're in business, it becomes like a lonely area unless you've got a really good accountability group, or you've got a group of people that you can, you know, turn to. So it's really important to have, you know, both experienced people around you, but also people that understand what you're going through. So challenges always come up in business. If you didn't have a challenge, it wouldn't be normal, I don't think. So there's been some challenges along the way. I don't know if I can pinpoint some. Growing a team is always a challenge. You know, as you grow, you have teething problems with venue, like office area and all of that type of stuff. And COVID was a massive challenge. So I think I've learnt to, you know, look at challenges, always looked at what's the learning point here, what do I need to do, what do I need to either change or implement in order to get through this challenge and not allow it to make me feel demotivated. But I think definitely having a mentor and accountability group has helped me to really take on that challenge and think about, you know, this is where I need to go, this is the obstacle in the way, how can I get over that obstacle but also learn from it as well along the way.
That's interesting, especially the bit about mentoring, because as a small business owner myself, I know only too well, it's like you're accountable for what you do, and actually having somebody that you can go to and actually have as a mentor, I think is really quite important. That's certainly...
Mentors are great. I think they're there, when you're in a moment and you think that it overwhelms you as to what you're going through, a mentor will ask you key questions that actually you think about to help you, enable you to make the right decision.
Challenging.
Yeah, challenging.
So yeah, it's really good. What's been your proudest moment since you started ZC Media?
Oh, my proudest moment, there's many. Proudest moment is probably leaving my old job.
Yeah.
That was my proudest moment.
Being brave.
Being brave. Proudest moment, probably winning a brand or a client that was on my wish list is always a great thing. You know, helping people is always a massive thing for me. There's lots of proud moments, I think. I think one of my proud moments as well is that I get to work with family. You know, we're a family-run business, and we've got other people in the business as well. But as a family-run business, that makes me proud that I can help others and help my family members. And I probably couldn't pinpoint one particular thing.
Lots of things.
Yeah,
lots of proud moments. Yeah. So what do you think sets you apart from others in this really highly competitive market? Because, I mean, you were one of the pioneers, one of the first to start, and now kind of like there are so many other companies that are out there and offering the same sort of thing. So why do you stand out from others?
I think, this is a really interesting one, because when I first got into it, there wasn't
hardly
no one. And then as you go on, another one pops up and another one pops up. And, you know, at a time, I remember, and this was probably another challenge, you start to think, oh, there's someone else now, or there's someone else now, and you start to worry about what other people, and that's the biggest thing of mine, is you worry about what other people think or what's going on. But a great thing that my mentor, Ash Lawrence, told me is that if you keep focusing on what other people are doing, it stops you in your track. Everyone is on their own journey. Everyone's on their own journey in their business, and everyone wants different things. No goals are the same. So I think what makes me stand up from the rest is that I've got my journey, I know where I want to go, but I keep up to date with the latest trends and updates. I'm not saying that everyone else doesn't do that, but I stay ahead. I offer free events and free training opportunities for local businesses in my local area and the surrounding area. And I just be me, like, you know. And
I have to say, as one of the participants of your latest one that you ran, it was fantastic. I learned so much, and you got some excellent speakers. You know, that network that you've got behind you. I think is, you know, it
Thank
really
you.
does
Yeah.
kind of, it's a testament to what you
Yeah,
do.
thank you, Matt.
Because you've not got that fear, oh, someone
Yeah.
else is going to step
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
place, because these are
Yeah,
like-minded people.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's amazing, and obviously you can see how well it all fits
Yeah,
and works
yeah.
together. So, what is your most productive time, would you say?
Oh, I'm a night owl.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
I love night to in the morning. I tend to do my meetings.
Yeah.
I love like getting up, going to do the meetings, getting around back about lunchtime, mid-afternoon, and then really then doing my more strategic, creative stuff. And I love doing that. So I'm definitely a night owl, and I'm more productive then. Although lots of people say it's the 5 o'clock club, that'll never be me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely a night owl, and with my my American clients, nighttime works really well. And then with a lot of my Asia-based clients, I tend to work with them when they're in the afternoon, which is later on in the day for them, but it works better for me.
Yeah, perfect for you if you're a night owl as well. So, how do you manage the usual day-to-day distractions that we all face, including the puppy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so most recently we all went very much remote, which has been a great change for the business. I was finding that with COVID we all went very flexible and remote, and then we got back to the office, it was like I was like, everyone was out on campaigns and doing meetings, and I thought, I'm the only one in the office, this is crazy. So we went remote, and distractions, I love taking regular breaks. I think it's really important to take breaks in terms of the creativity and stuff. So taking breaks when I'm at home or when I'm out and about, I'll stop and have a cup of tea in a nice little coffee shop locally. I think distractions are a good thing in some ways, but also you've got to make sure that you're focused and have a good plan of what you've got to be doing within that day to keep you focused as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, what advice would you give to people like me of a certain age and are clueless about where to start and you know, how to make social media work for them and for their business?
Start with, why are you using it? Lots of people get on social media thinking they've got to go on every social media platform out there and start posting out, and that you've got to post multiple times a day. Actually comes back to, what are you trying to achieve in your business? Which then says, why do you need to use social? Because if you've got your goals for your business, you can then start thinking about how social can help you achieve those goals and objectives, and then define what platforms your audience would be on, what tactics and actions you need to take in order to start achieving those goals and objectives as well. So I'd go back to pen and paper and think about, as a business, what do I want to achieve in my business and how can social media help me do that? And then just start to think about who your audience are and what platforms they'll be hanging out on, because I see so many people waste time and resources on just randomly posting and trying to use every social media site, and it doesn't get them the results they're looking for.
No. So it's literally overburdening themselves when they don't need to. So really it's just down to good old basic skills of pen and paper and actually like really looking at, you know, what you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and then you know, how you're going to get there. So
most definitely.
Really interesting, thank you. So finally, and to conclude, is there any specific advice that you would give to business owners to help them to get started and to stay on track and to gain new business from what they do in social media?
Oh, I love this. I could talk about this bit all day, but I would definitely keep up to date with the latest trends and information. If you follow me, then you know, you'll see what's going on. But I would always have a strategy, but there's like 6 to 7 key steps in your plan that you need to take. Number one is making sure you know what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve. So I almost sort of make it a little bit more pretty and say, what's on your wish list? What are you trying to achieve? Number two, understanding that audience. Who are they? What do they do? Really think about those. Number three is thinking about what are their pains and challenges, your audience pains and challenges, and creating a really good lead magnet. Because so many people have so many amazing conversations on social, they then don't take them offline and nurture them and sell. So having a good lead magnet will help you build your list, nurture them, and really build that rapport. Number four is building the email list. Number five is making sure that you have some advertising there, social ways to really help get out to a wider audience. And then number 6 or 7, I'm trying to think where I am now. I think
Six.
it's number 6. Number 6 is really then nurturing them.
Yeah.
Nurturing those contacts that you've built up, those conversations, nurturing that list that you can then convert them into sales.
That's lovely. So you've got 6 great points that you can actually take away from Zoe. We will put a link on the bottom of this podcast. And finally, I'd really like to thank you for coming
You're most
along.
welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, and thank you for coming. It's been really enlightening. I know the stuff that you're doing is absolutely fabulous, and I would encourage people to follow Zoe, see what she's doing, and you certainly will get a really good education. So, thanks, Zoe.
Thank you.